Hey there, you filthy animals, Mr. Dirty, back with another episode of the GTM show, and today from the frozen food department we have another item from that Stouffer's Urban Bistro line. Last time it was the goat cheese mac and cheese. This time around we're going to be checking out the beer glazed meatballs, and there's the package you're looking for. If you're looking for this in stores, take all that in. Yeah, we got a little mashed potato action going on there. Looks like some pearlized onions, maybe some carrots. We'll get into that description right about now. Right on the front there, they're saying beer glazed meatballs, and they're telling us it's made with Back 40 Beer Co.'s Truck Stop Honey Brown Ale. And they even got a little branding on the front there, made with Back 40 beer. I myself never had that personally. And some cheddar mashed potatoes. They're telling us it's 390 calories, coming in at, what's our weight here? 9 7/8 ounces. Or 280 grams. On the back of the package, we have a little write-up about the Honey Brown Ale there and the nutrition fact chart. Go ahead and pause the screen and take all that in. On the side panel over here, you're going to have your list of ingredients. Go ahead and pause the screen and read that if that's the kind of thing that interests you. On the other side panel over here, we just have product graphics. Over here, cooking instructions, microwave only. All right, our microwave instructions on this one have us leaving the film on the product and cooking for 3 minutes on high. Then we peel the film back, stir, recover, and then cook for another minute and a half. And then you let it stand for 1 minute. All right, let's split this open. Take a look at our entree in its frozen state. Right, you can barely see what's going on there through the printed film. But we do see our mashed potatoes are on one side, meatballs and all the onions and whatnot is on the other side there. I believe just like last time, we're looking at like a 5x7 oval tray here. That's about 1 inch deep. All right, so I'm going to run down and nuke this up, then we're going to come back and check out our Stouffer's Urban Bistro beer glazed meatballs. Stick around. All right, guys, we are back with our Stouffer's Urban Bistro beer glazed meatballs. It's been in the microwave for about 4.5 minutes with a little stir about 3/4 way through as directed. We're just now coming to the end of our 1 minute let it stand mark. I'm going to peel off the film. I'll give you a little look at it before I do the final stir. Then we're going to do the final stir, and then we're going to get right down to it. Side note, at that mid part where I was supposed to stir it there, I was basically just breaking up a solid frozen block of mashed potatoes into smaller bits there to microwave down. Meatballs at that point, they already seemed like they were done. I just kind of moved them around a little bit. The whole thing did, while it was cooking in the microwave, it has the aroma of like a warm ale. Even though like the smell, have you ever been to a pub when they first open up and it still has that, I don't know, it's just like sunk into the interior of the place, just the smell of old ale, old beer. While I was nuking away, this had the exact same aroma filling up the kitchen downstairs. So let me give you a look real quick before we go in for that final stir. And there you go. That's what you get right out of the microwave, after you do the little stir midway through there. Mashed potatoes looking like mashed potatoes, meatballs looking like meatballs, all right? So check mark on both of those. All right, I'm going to do a final little stir here, make everything hopefully look a little bit more appetizing without mixing it up all into one big mass. I say this as the before shot that you just looked at there, the potatoes were still kind of clumpy and everything from being busted up into those smaller frozen pieces like I was saying. Meatballs, they just look like meatballs. They look exactly like they did at the mid-stir there. Anyhow, there's our final stir. That's what you get. Mashed potatoes looking a little bit more appetizing. You can see those little pearl onions. And what is it? Is that carrots going on in there? I'm going to say those are carrots and not peppers, but I could be proved wrong here in a second. Meatballs are looking like they're hand-rolled. I'm sure they're by machine or whatever, but yeah, they're a little fluffy, They're not like perfect round circles like you get with a lot of frozen meatballs. Like the bigger bags of frozen Italian meatballs, stuff like that you can just like throw into a crock pot and make some quick Swedish meatballs out of. There's a closer look at one of those meatballs, and you can see what I'm talking about. It's like malformed. It's not like a perfect circle by any means whatsoever. It has that appearance of being hand-rolled, but like I say, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure this came off of a conveyor belt. I'm going to go ahead and down that meatball while I got it on the hook here. I'm just going to give it a good rolling in the sauce that I assume is supposed to be like a beer sauce. Down the hatch with that. All right, you do get a big flash of flavor of like an old dank beer there. They say ale, but it's got like the flavor of like a thick lager or maybe some sort of a Guinness. Like a thicker, more pungent beer is what it seems like it came off of. Doesn't seem like it's like some old pale ale, some Budweiser, something like that. Once again, I have never had Back 40 beer in my life. I don't think I've ever had Honey Brown Ale before. I've usually had like standard beer when I was drinking. But here, it's not too bad if you're down with like warm beer. As for the texture of the meatballs themselves, It's pretty close to your standard issue frozen meatball, the like Italian style meatballs that I mentioned before. These are not Italian style. They're actually not even seasoned. They're pretty plain, pretty lackluster as far as flavor of their own. But yeah, like I said, it had like that looser looking roll to it, and you get that in the immediate texture upon popping it in your mouth. But as soon as you start to chew it and the breakdown there, then that's when you really get like the full effect of just like the regular standard frozen meatballs that you would get. The real gimmick with the meatballs is definitely, all to do with the sauce. There's one of those pearl onions right there, full-blown onion just tossed right in. Wow. Definitely not going near that thing, but also there's like slices of carrot also in there. Very sweet. All right, real quick, let's get into those mashed potatoes, because they mentioned those to be like cheddar mashed potatoes. So I got I'd say a good portion right there on the hook. Down the hatch with that. Okay, I can actually taste the cheddar in that. I thought it was just going to be pretty bland, to go with the bland meatballs over there if they didn't have the sauce. But yeah, I definitely taste cheddar. It's almost like a sharp cheddar going on. The texture on the mashed potatoes, though, it's coming across as like instant. Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like homemade mashed potatoes by any means. Doesn't taste bad or anything like that, but yeah, mashed potato snobs, they would definitely have an issue with this. What I do like is the part that was touching the outer rim there. It kind of got like over-baked, I would say, like twice-baked potatoes are. They have that little crispiness almost to the top, where some of it's a little tougher than the rest of it. Kind of like the caramelization on macaroni and cheese. That I dig. Okay, so overall, this whole entree, it's not bad. The mashed potatoes, like I say, they come off as instant. But, like I say, they don't taste bad at all by any means. Same thing with the meatballs. The beer thing can be an acquired taste for some, but if you're into trying like different style sauces on meatballs to change up the flavor, boom, here's another one to check off your list. And the onions are a little off-putting to myself, and I wish they had given us just as much carrots as they did the onions. It would have made it like more worthwhile. I could power through this, but I definitely can't see myself buying this again. I'm going to give it a solid 3 out of 5. Alright, so there you have it once again, Stouffer's Urban Bistro and their beer glazed meatballs. Pick it up, give it a try, form your own opinion. I'm Mr. Dirty, this is the GTM show. Don't forget you can buy Knucklehead shirts and hoodies down in the description. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheRealMrDirty. As always, get out of here, whoever rotten day.